Good day. This 354th day, Meaningful Moments, 365 days. You know, just even coming on today, I was thinking about how this whole thing began with just that initial spark that happened on that January 1st of 2021, and having a moment where I was sitting there and I thought, I just want to share these beautiful little moments that come into our awareness. They're happening all the time, and often we don't value or give it enough credit that we have these little inspirations and these ways that we experience life, because we get caught up in whatever it is that we're doing, and perhaps you're listening to the news or there's drama in your life of some kind, and just like all humans, we get distracted and swept away with whatever that situation is. But the meaningful moments came out of an intention that was just so sweet and pure in that moment. And this meaningful moment is about remembering those sweet little intentions. Remember your intention, always, because inevitably we sway from them at times, or we forget or get lost along the way. And here are some examples. Perhaps you set out and embark on perhaps your career, your school, your academics, and then perhaps your career, your profession, whatever that might be. And there's different ways you go about that, and there's different steps and processes that you take in evolving and getting to those goals that you set for yourself. And along the way, perhaps you become consumed or overwhelmed or burdened by different aspects of that journey, and you forget and you get distracted, and like everyone, you find yourself suddenly feeling taxed. Perhaps you complain, perhaps you find yourself resisting all those different elements, or even cursing what it was that you set out to do, even though it was such a beautiful intention to begin with. I'm sure you can relate if you've had children and you begin on your parenting path, and oh my gosh, what a sweet, beautiful conception in the figurative and literal way. And then suddenly you're in it and you're like, oh man, this is really hard work. I'm raising a kid, and you're involved with all the aspects of their life, body, mind, and soul, and you're having to expand yourself in ways you never imagined, and you have to face all kinds of things, not only along your journey as a parent, but as far as their journey as their child becoming an adult and a human being evolving along the way. And again, in those different moments, we get caught up, distracted, and we just forget the intention that we started with. Maybe you're in a different part of your life. Maybe you're reviewing your own life, and maybe you're sitting here going, I wish I knew what my calling was. I wish I had purpose in my life. I wish I wanted to go back to those days when I just had a plan in my mind of something I wanted to do or be living like, and you just somehow got distracted. You veered off on different journeys and different paths, and suddenly you find yourself wondering, what happened to all those years? Where am I now? What was my intention to begin with? And in this moment, I'm reminding you to remember what your intention was. And here's a clue. It's always so much more simpler than what we think. It's not even about the thinking. It's not even about compartmentalizing it to an emotion of what we felt and our passion and our love and all those things. It's a very simple agreement that you and everyone that comes to this earth makes, and that is what you agreed to do in spirit. How it is that you came to live this life fulfilled in connection with that innate being that you are inseparable from, that power, that source that you're inseparable from, in whatever way you look at it, on any level, body, mind, or soul. but this sourcing of where you're drawing your everyday existence from. And perhaps you don't know what that is. But once you reconnect with that, everything else begins to line up, because it's often so much more simple than this complexity. And if you're sitting here thinking, my life has become so complex, it's expanded for sure. Every one of us, that's part of the journey. And all those little twists and turns and veer off paths and everything, that's part of the journey. And all the hard work and the swaying and the distracting and the distractions, all of it is part of the journey. Remember your intention. That part of living a life, this gift that was given to you. Remember that intention today, and perhaps how simple that part of it is. It was back then, it is now, it will be, and maybe in that way you can bring out the fullest, most meaningful moment now and in life. Aho.